Welcome back to my channel. Today I am going to be doing a review and wear test on the Estee Lauder Double Wear Foundation. I have not done a wear test for y'all, and I always love watching those on YouTube where you get to see how a foundation lasts on someone's skin throughout the day. So I'll be doing the application now with you guys, and then I will catch up with y'all throughout the day and let you know how it is wearing on my skin. So let's just go ahead and jump into it. I am in the shade 3W1 Tawny. This used to be a match for me. I wore this makeup like a long time ago, but I thought this would be a great one to test out in front of the camera for you guys. So let's check out some of the claims. It says it is stay-in-place makeup for all skin types, 15 hours staying power, looks fresh and flawless throughout heat, humidity, non-stop activity, won't change color, smudge, or come off clothes, lightweight and so comfortable you won't believe it's long wear, medium buildable coverage, won't clog pores, oil controlling, oil free, fragrance free, dermatologist and ophthalmologist tested, and don't put it in your eyes. Good to know. So here is what the packaging looks like. I am sure if you've watched YouTube at all, like you've seen some kind of tutorial on this foundation or some kind of review on it, so I'm not going to talk too much about the packaging, but it is just like a little pretty glass, like a frosted glass. And one thing, I just try to pull off the cap, one thing that everyone on YouTube says, and I agree with, is it does not come with a pump, which sucks, so it's just like super messy. But you can get the MAC pump for their foundation, and you may have to trim the straw a little bit, but it does fit into this foundation apparently. And just so you know, I've already started out by priming my skin with the Dr. Brandt Pores No More Primer and the Smashbox Pore Minimizing Primer. Those are my go-tos right now, and then I sprayed everything with the Urban Decay All Nighter Spray just to really set my primer, and use my Real Technique sponge just to press it all into my skin to make sure it's really super absorbed before I try this foundation out for y'all. Just so you know, whenever I'm going to be doing foundation reviews and wear tests for y'all, I'm going to wear this foundation like I would wear any foundation every day. I know some people try it without a primer, without setting it, or whatever, just to try to show you just what the foundation does, but I don't really feel like I could give you the most honest or best review if I don't wear it how I'm going to be wearing it every day as it is. So yeah, so I'm just gonna do this like I would do any other foundation. I have not worn this foundation in a long time, so I'm not sure how I'm gonna feel about it, but I did use it for my sister-in-law's wedding. I did her makeup, and I used the Estee Lauder Double Wear Foundation, and it looked amazing on her skin and photographed gorgeous. So I'm just gonna put a little bit on the back of my hand. So it is a very liquidy, not like super, super watery and runny, but it is definitely drippy. I'm going to use my Real Technique sponge today. Just gonna dip a little bit on my sponge, and I'll start off by doing half of my face. Wow, that looks like really, it just looks like my skin. I think this sponge may be absorbing a little bit too much of it. I may need to dot it on my face and then buff it in, because I just put a pretty good clump on there and it really didn't go anywhere. So I'm gonna try it the other way. I'm just gonna put a few more dots on my skin. Pat that all in. In general, I have found, like with most foundations, I like to use my sponge over any other brush, because I feel like, I know sometimes the sponge, like what just happened, it soaks up more of your product, so you're using more than you normally would. But I really just like that it kind of thins out foundations, but still gives you full coverage. I personally think most of the time I can get better coverage with the sponge, and it doesn't leave any streaks on my skin. The color's looking really good. It doesn't, I don't know how it's showing up on the camera, but it doesn't look too dark on me or really too light. I think if I get any more sun this summer, I'll definitely need to go up a shade. I can't wait till I get like professional lighting to film for y'all, so you can see just like more of my natural skin tone, because the light or the sun just like washes me out so much. But it's either that or you can't see me at all. There's what that half of the face looks like compared to this half. It looks really natural to me. I don't think it like makes my pores more visible or anything like that. Let's go ahead and do the other half. I did like this technique better, by the way, than just like dipping my sponge into it. Maybe I'll do 2 layers today just so y'all can see how it can build up. Because right now, honestly, this is 1 layer on each side, and I feel like this coverage would be good for me. I don't really feel like I would want another layer unless I guess I'm like doing a photo shoot or something. But I really like how it looks. It doesn't look like I'm wearing a frick ton of foundation. This looks really good. It looks really nice on my skin. I would say it gives you a semi-matte finish. It is pretty matte, more so on the matte side than the natural side. But I do have like a slight like sheen to my skin, which I don't mind as long as it doesn't make me oily. So let's go ahead and do 1 more full layer on each side. I'm gonna pour a little bit more in the back of my hand. And as far as testing it out today, I'm not doing that much today. I'm just doing some things around the house, but I will need to go run a few errands, and I will be outside at some points. And when you're working on things at the house, I got way too much foundation. Awesome. I guess I'm gonna take what's the rest of the back of my hand, try to put it on my neck because I don't need this much. So yeah, I would say this foundation is definitely building up to full coverage. I think it started out as probably like medium coverage, just like it said. All right. That is it for the foundation. It looks like to me, the second layer did bring more of a sheen to the finish. It doesn't look as matte. I don't know if that's because it's like just too much or so much on top of my skin or what it is, but it does look nice. I am seeing my pores a little bit through this and some of the texture on my skin, but it's not horrible, and I'm thinking once I set it with a powder that maybe that'll kind of go away. All right, and now I'm gonna do my under eyes, and this is with the Urban Decay Naked Skin Concealer in the shade Medium Light. Whoopsie, almost dropped it. I feel like it's not a normal video for me if I don't drop something at least one time. Just gonna do my concealer like normal. Usual with my sponge. I'm gonna drag a little bit that on my eyelid since I haven't done my eyeshadow yet. Okay, that is the concealer with it. I'm gonna go ahead and set it. I don't really have a ton of setting powder left in general. I have a tiny bit of the Tarte Smooth Operator left and a little bit of my Bare Minerals Mineral Veil. Maybe I'll go with the Tarte one. I feel like that's a really well-loved powder. Shaking it up, there's like not much left, so I'm gonna have to do the powder dance to get it on the lid. And I will be powdering or setting my skin with the Real Techniques powder brush. I really like the way it's looking. At least the way I applied it with the sponge, I don't see it looking really heavy. So if you've tried this foundation before and you feel like it just looked like so much makeup on you, try shearing it out. You'll still get the full coverage, but try using it with a beauty blender or the Real Techniques sponge, just to make it look a little bit more like skin. And then try just doing 1 layer, because that first layer, I actually really prefer how that looked. All right, there is the foundation. Showing you guys, I think, at least in my mirror, it is a great match for me color-wise. My pores do look so much more smoothed out, especially with this powder on top. It doesn't look super heavy. I am noticing a little bit of creasing in my forehead with the powder versus when I use like my powder foundations. I'm gonna try to get that. Okay, I put a little powder on my sponge where that little line was showing up, and I think that did help it some. I am going to go do the rest of my makeup, and I will be right back to check in with y'all and let you know how I feel other products really lay on top of this foundation. All right, I'm back. I did the rest of my makeup. I feel like everything went on top of this foundation really smoothly, One thing, a negative that I've noticed so far is this shade on me. You can't really tell on camera, I don't think, but like looking in my little mirror right here, it's a tiny bit pink on me. It's really hard for me to find foundations that have that perfect undertone, so I may need to look at something that's the same like darkness, but like a little bit, tiny bit more yellow. The time right now is 2:17, so I'm going to just go do some things around the house, and I will check back with y'all in a few hours and let you know how this foundation is wearing up and if I notice that it is caking up at all on me. So see you guys in a little bit. Sweetie, look at this foundation. That is the skin part, not the eyes.
Huh?
My skin. Like, does that look super, no, in here. Does that look super cakey? Does it look like I have a lot of makeup on?
No.
Does it look heavy?
No.
Do you like it?
Looks good.
1 out of 10. Don't say it like just because you love me. Tell me the truth.
7.
Okay, well, do you like this or what I normally wear?
What do you normally wear?
That means Bare Minerals. Good to know. Thanks, sweetie. I'm back with an update. It is 7:37 p.m. So let's see, I think I started around like 2. So it's been about 5.5 hours-ish. So let's see how the makeup's looking. I haven't really paid attention much because we've been just running a ton of errands, so. All right. As far as it actually holding up on my skin, as far as breaking apart, it's really not breaking apart much at all. I'm actually pretty impressed with that. I do feel like I'm starting to get pretty shiny through here. Nothing like crazy, but I can definitely feel that I'm getting shiny, but that's not bad for me considering how long it's been. So I am going to go ahead and take a blotting sheet and blot and touch up, and that way we can just see like how this would last. Like if you were going out all night and you needed to extend it a few more hours, does it still look great after you just touched up? So let's go ahead and blot. I'm sorry for that noise. That's my husband testing out his new toy, aka a weed whacker. And then I'm just gonna take a little bit of powder. Let me get some powder, let's see. A little bit of powder. Take my Real Techniques brush. And y'all don't already know this, if you have oily skin, I highly recommend don't put powder over oil. Make sure you use some kind of blotting sheet, even if it's like toilet seat cover, those actually work really well. Or even if you take a piece of tissue or toilet paper, let's be honest, toilet paper, and spread it in half to make it thinner so it doesn't take off your makeup, and just lightly press with that to get the oils off. Anything you can do to get the oils off before you put powder on top, because if you're putting powder on top of that oil, it's just gonna make a cakey surface. So I've already taken off the excess oil, so I'm just gonna pat on a little bit of powder. And by the way, I was outside a lot today. A lot of the errands, we were like looking at plants and stuff too. So it was really hot and humid. Now that I've taken the oil off and I've powdered, it looks like it just did when I first applied it. So that's really impressive, especially on my skin, because my skin is so oily that it always looks like crap within like 6 hours. There's my little mini check-in. I am gonna check in probably one more time at the end of the night before I take off my makeup and let y'all know how it's looking. So I'll be back. All right guys, I am back for my final check-in. I am in my bathroom right now because the lighting in my beauty room is horrific right now. Like it's so dark because I always go with natural lighting, so I'm using my bright bathroom lights. So I apologize if the color is all screwed up. It's currently 11:43 p.m. So in other words, I am so ready to take off my makeup and go to bed because I am old and need to go to sleep. But let me just check to see how the makeup is wearing. So last time I checked in, it was 7. So it's been about 4 hours. I definitely feel like I've gotten a little bit oily throughout my T-zone, basically where I got oily last time. As far as like breaking up around my nose, it is maybe like a tiny bit, but it really hasn't broken up that much. Like I feel like if I needed my makeup to stay on anymore, I could definitely do the whole blot and powder thing again and probably get at least another 2 hours out of it. So I am super impressed with this foundation. I don't really have that much bad to say about it. So 2 thumbs up for the Estee Lauder Double Wear Foundation. If you liked this video, please be sure to subscribe so you don't miss any future videos, and don't forget to give this video a thumbs up. Yeah, thanks so much for watching. See y'all next time.